That little change you've noticed in the bedroom, the erection that isn't quite as firm, the desire that feels a bit faded, it isn't just in your head, and it's not just getting older. What if I told you a common, seemingly harmless drink is silently sabotaging the very structure of your penis? Most men over 60 don't know this connection. The simple steps at the end of this video aren't just advice, they are a reclamation plan for your manhood, and 99% will miss the most crucial detoxifying habit: hidden dangers. There's a quiet assumption many of us make as we get older, a sort of resignation that things just won't work the way they used to. We notice a change in our sexual response, a subtle inflammation in the prostate, and we quickly label it as an inevitable part of aging. But what if that's not the whole story? What if one of the world's oldest and most popular beverages, something synonymous with relaxation and good times, is acting as a Trojan horse inside your body? Beer. For many, it's a symbol of friendship, refreshment, a way to unwind. But when we look beyond the marketing and peer into the biological reality for a man over 60, its effects on our hormonal, vascular, and urogenital systems are profoundly different from what we've been led to believe. Let's break down what's actually in that glass. Beer is produced through the fermentation of sugars from grains, primarily barley. This process creates a cocktail of compounds, including ethanol, potent phytoestrogens from hops, and various toxins produced during fermentation. The ethanol, which is the primary active component, acts as a depressant on the central nervous system. When consumed frequently, even in moderate amounts, it significantly reduces the production of testosterone, the absolute cornerstone hormone for maintaining libido, erectile function, and prostate health. As men, our testosterone levels already begin a natural decline after the age of 60. When you introduce a substance that actively suppresses it further, the impact is magnified exponentially. This is the hidden source behind that feeling of sexual fatigue, the erection that doesn't feel as strong or doesn't last, the desire that seems to be flickering out. Many men are unknowingly fueling these exact issues with their regular beer consumption, but the hormonal interference doesn't stop with testosterone. The hops used to flavor beer are loaded with powerful phytoestrogens, plant based compounds that mimic estrogen in the male body. This influx of estrogen like compounds throws your delicate hormonal balance into disarray. It can lead to mild gynecomastia, the development of breast tissue, an accumulation of stubborn abdominal and pelvic fat, a reduction in body hair, and most concerningly, congestion in the prostate. An estrogen dominant environment causes the prostate to become slowly inflamed, leading to difficulty urinating, a burning sensation, and increased urgency. Over time, this chronic inflammation significantly elevates the risk of developing benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, and even more serious cancerous processes. The truly insidious part of this is that the man experiencing these symptoms rarely, if ever, connects them back to his favorite drink. He blames his age, stress, or his genetics, all while the real culprit is sitting right there on his coaster, disguised as a harmless ritual. This is not about fear, it's about connecting the dots that have been conveniently left unconnected by industries that profit from our ignorance. Understanding these hidden dangers is the first step toward taking back control of your health. Vascular damage. Now let's talk about the penis itself. It is a hydraulic organ, absolutely and completely dependent on healthy blood flow to function properly. The intricate network of veins and arteries within the penis requires elasticity, strength, and adequate pressure to achieve and sustain a firm erection. The alcohol in beer, specifically ethanol, is initially a vasodilator, which means it temporarily widens the blood vessels. This might create a fleeting sensation of relaxation, but the long-term consequences are far more sinister. Over time, chronic alcohol consumption leads to a stiffening of the arteries. It triggers a state of low-grade vascular inflammation and promotes the accumulation of free radicals, which cause oxidative damage to the delicate lipids that line your arterial walls. This cumulative damage leads to a condition called endothelial dysfunction. In simple terms, this means the cells that form the inner lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, lose their ability to produce a critical compound called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the master key that unlocks a strong erection. It's the signaling molecule that tells the smooth muscles in your blood vessels to relax, allowing blood to rush in and create firmness. So, yes, a beer might make you feel relaxed for a little while, but with each passing year, it is systematically stripping away your body's ability to respond sexually as you desire. It is slowly turning off the switch for nitric oxide production. And if you are someone who believes this only affects heavy drinkers, I urge you to listen very carefully. This isn't about binge drinking. Recent rigorous studies have shed a harsh light on the effects of so-called moderate consumption. A study showed that even moderate, regular consumption, defined as just 1 or 2 beers per day over a period of more than 5 years, can lead to measurable endothelial dysfunction in men over the age of 60. The damage is cumulative and it is subtle. You don't feel it happening day by day, but the architecture of your vascular system is being compromised. It's a slow, silent erosion of your sexual vitality. The science is not ambiguous. We have extensive long term data confirming these effects. The evidence isn't a myth perpetuated by teetotalers, it's a biological reality confirmed by top tier research institutions. But you might be wondering, doesn't beer have some benefits? And it's true in very specific and controlled contexts, certain compounds found in beer can have positive effects. Some artisanal, non alcoholic beers rich in polyphenols can possess antioxidant and anti inflammatory properties. But we must be very clear. We are talking about specialized, non commercial versions, often unpasteurized and with negligible alcohol content. The problem lies with common commercial beer, the kind most people consume. This beer is often laden with added sugars, preservatives, chemical additives, and even residual heavy metals from the mass production process. That beer, the one shared at barbecues, enjoyed at the bar, or used to unwind at home, is the one that is actively interfering with your sexual and prostate health, and it's doing so right under your nose without you even realizing it. The damage isn't just physical. It is a slow betrayal of the body's innate ability to maintain its own virility, and it is a process that we have been culturally conditioned to ignore. Reclaiming manhood. The damage we've discussed isn't just physical, it's also deeply psychological. Beer can create a false and fleeting sense of relaxation and disinhibition, which is part of its appeal. But over time, this can lead to a state of emotional dependency. It weakens the limbic system, the emotional center of your brain, and disrupts the critical hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, which is the command center for your entire hormonal system. Chronic consumption diminishes your brain's natural production of dopamine and serotonin, two neurotransmitters that are absolutely fundamental for feeling desire, experiencing pleasure, and maintaining sexual motivation. This is why so many men who drink beer frequently, even just socially, often experience a kind of sexual and emotional fatigue. It's a subtle apathy, a sense of disconnection that they can't quite put their finger on. They feel less vital, less like themselves, and they don't know why. The chain reaction of negative effects continues. Beer consumption is also known to increase uric acid levels in the body, promote insulin resistance, and disrupt the delicate balance of the gut microbiome. These three factors are all directly or indirectly linked to the state of chronic, low grade inflammation that harms the prostate, impairs hormonal function, and damages blood flow. It's a devastating, silent cascade of events. So, what can be done? If what you truly desire is to reclaim your virility, to restore your potency, to feel sexually agile again, and to protect the long term health of your prostate, then the answer is to abandon it completely. There really is no middle ground here. Swapping beer for antioxidant rich infusions, sparkling mineral water, green tea, or fresh natural juices is a profoundly wise decision. But stopping is only the first step. You must also actively work to strengthen your vascular system. This means incorporating foods that are rich in nitric oxide precursors like beets, garlic, and tree nuts. It means engaging in gentle but consistent cardiovascular exercise, such as brisk walking or swimming. These activities don't just burn calories, they train your endothelium to become more efficient at producing nitric oxide. It's a holistic approach. Deep diaphragmatic breathing helps to calm the nervous system and reduce the stress hormones that work against erectile function. Getting moderate, sensible sun exposure helps your body produce vitamin D, a crucial prohormone. Ensuring you get deep, restorative sleep is non negotiable for hormonal balance. And finally, you must tend to your mind, your thoughts, your sense of purpose. A man's virility is tied to his sense of direction and his passion for life, but it's not enough to just stop drinking beer. It is vital to actively detoxify the body from the compounds it has accumulated. This is the crucial step that most men miss. Simple daily infusions of ginger with lemon can help to quell inflammation. A glass of water with a splash of apple cider vinegar upon waking can help to support your body's natural cleansing processes. Practices like intermittent fasting can give your digestive system a rest and trigger cellular repair mechanisms. And incorporating powerful anti inflammatory agents like turmeric and chlorophyll rich greens can help you mop up oxidative damage and accelerate the restoration of your natural hormonal production. Within a few short months of making these changes, you can notice a radical difference. Stronger, more reliable erections, a renewed and vibrant sense of desire, a calmer, less inflamed prostate, more energy when you wake up in the morning, and even a stronger physical posture because the body renews itself even after 60 if you give it the chance. Beer may feel like your old reliable friend, but it may be silently sabotaging the very essence of your manhood. You hold the power to decide a different future for your body. If you have felt your potency decline, if you've noticed discomfort when you urinate, if your desire has fallen and you simply chalked it up to age, this is your moment to reconsider everything. It's time to look inward and make a radical, loving decision for your own well being. Share this with a friend who needs to hear this truth. What was the most surprising connection you learned today?